Hey guys, it's Chelsea Messenger with Picks and Parlays. The NBA playoffs are rolling on, and we're talking Lakers Rockets out west. We've got Craig Trapp joining us to talk this Lakers Rockets matchup where the Lakers are favored -5.5. Total sits at 225. The Lakers have lost the opening game of both of their series in this playoffs so far. But other than those, it's all wins for the Lake Show. So, Craig, where are you leaning on this game? Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell if you want notifications every time we post a new video.
Well, game three is obviously the pivotal game of a series when you're 1-1, and I think the Lakers are going to come out and play like we know they can on defense. At game one, I just thought they were really rusty. The attention to detail was almost non-existent. I mean, they were leaving shooters, they were doubling the ball when they didn't need to. I mean, it was just. And I think a lot of that had to do with the extra time off and where the Rockets came off and were ready to go after that winning the seventh game against Oklahoma City. So I'm not surprised that this line's right at the 5.5 in the total in the mid 220s. I just think the Lakers are in a must-win spot. They need to take care of business and not continue to give this Rockets team confidence.
Right. For the Lakers, a lot of times it seems like urgency isn't there unless they really need to win. LeBron doesn't really turn it on unless he needs to. And also, something I've been noticing, the role players have played a large factor in the playoffs for all of these teams. We saw Eric Gordon being a key factor for the Rockets, making all those threes. So I'd be interested to see the depth of both of these teams in this next game.
Well, Russell Westbrook has been the big problem for this Rockets since he came back. I mean, it's either feast or famine. He either turns the ball over 5, 6, 7 times, shoots a bunch of bad shots, and he's not even been good on defense. The one thing he has been doing is giving him rebounding, which of course they need. The Rockets are such a small team, but Anthony Davis has been the key. In game two, I mean, he just backed Tucker down and took him to town. I think as long as he continues to do that, this Lakers team is going to move on from this series. Now, as a bettor in this one, I think you have to lean towards Houston. I just think it's going to be a pretty close game. So 5.5 points. But my top play, I think, in this one, I think the over. I just think the over is the better play. I think the Rockets have to score and score in bunches in the open court because the Lakers are so good once they're in the half court defense. And I think that means the over is going to be the play here. And let's be honest, the Rockets, they don't match up well with Anthony Davis, and they don't match up, and nobody has anybody to match up with LeBron. So the best two players of the Lakers, I think, carry them. But I still think I would take Rockets if I had to take the side. But my better play is on the over here.
That's interesting you say that because the under has actually hit for 4 of the last 5 for Houston. Do you think this number reflects for the Rockets? Because obviously you're playing the number because during the season everyone thought over for the Rockets because they scored all those points, but the odds makers adjust for that. Do you think the number is low enough or high enough? I guess it'd be low enough if you're playing the over.
Yeah, I think I was surprised this wasn't a little higher because we saw how well Houston. I mean, they didn't even really shoot the ball well in game two, and they just score 120. It seems like no matter if they win or lose, they can score 120. And to beat the Lakers, you have to play up tempo. If you play in the half court, you're not going to beat
No.
LeBron James. At least not the Rockets, maybe the Clippers, but not this Rockets team. So I think they push the pace. And LeBron and company has been really good. I think what they score 43 in the first quarter last game or 40 something. So LeBron and company has been pushing the pace as well. So I like the over here. I know Houston in the bubble format hasn't been great on the overs, but I think in this series they have to be to stay close in these games.
Right. They also shot 53 three-pointers last game. So they are trying to beat the Lakers by scoring more threes than the Lakers can score twos. That's going to
Right.
do it for our Lakers and Rockets talk here on Picks and Parlays. As always, good stuff from Craig Trapp. Thanks for joining us, Craig.